London has a lot of alleyways, often full of history and curiosity. The alleys seem to survive even though the buildings around them change, often multiple times. Some are very small, often hiding buildings and entrances to pubs and the sides of theatres. This video includes 4 alleyways that are off the Strand, leading to Covent Garden, near Trafalgar Square and Charing Cross, and one that is right in Covent Garden. More will follow in later videos. If you're in London, try and take some time to explore these peculiarities from an earlier time. I hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching Eclectic Experience, change seen through images. The first 4 of the 5 alleys we're going to look at run between the Strand and a smaller road, Maiden Lane. These are the 4 alleyways as seen on an up-to-date Google map: Exchange Court, Heathcock Court, Bulling Court and Lumley Court. Now let's go back to an 1851 map and we can see that they are all still there, though Lumley Court at that time did not go all the way through to Maiden Lane. Now the big surprise: if we go back to the map of 1682, incredibly it looks like these alleys are pretty much in existence then. So the alleys have probably been here since the area was first developed. We can see the Strand and Maiden Lane bordering the block, but there looks like there were at this time more alleys that have since disappeared. Well, had disappeared by the time the 1851 map was produced. This is the Strand now, and at first glance it is often really hard to actually see these alleyways. Let's start with Exchange Court. Entering from the Strand, we have ceramic bricks on both sides going down quite a narrow path, but then it opens up into this larger area with a surprise of a grand building with railings on the left. Also, if we look up, we can see lights that look like they could once have been gas lights or are copies. Once on Maiden Lane, the entrance is actually more obvious. Next along is Heathcock Court, which is a bit of a peculiarity. Looking from the Strand, it looks like it's a dead end with narrow glazed walls leading up to a hotel, and it even has an iron gate at the entrance. However, it is actually an L-shaped alley that joins Exchange Court. You would not know it was possible to get through from either the Strand end or the Exchange Court end, but it is, and this is where the two join. Moving along, probably one of the more exciting alleys is Bulling Court, as it not only leads to the entrance to the Nell Gwynne Pub, named after the mistress of King Charles II, and interestingly dating from around 1680, though obviously much modified since, but it also has the side of the Adelphi Theatre. On the opposite wall we can see some cogs which once belonged to the powerhouse that was on this site. There's also some old style lamps as we look up. Looking from the Strand, this alley entrance is a lot easier to spot, with a sign outside advertising the pub and one on the ground. Then we go through these interestingly glazed tiles as they start the alley off, leading directly to the pub. Moving to the Maiden Lane end of the alley, the entrance here has a big lamp and a smaller sign to the Nell Gwynne Pub, so it is relatively easy to spot. Then we come to Lumley Court, which is essentially a cut through between the two roads, though it does run next to another theatre, the Vaudeville. This is the Strand side entrance, which is actually quite easy to miss. And unlike the other 3 alleys in this block, there are actually steps near one end leading up to Maiden Lane. And from this lane we can also see the rear of the theatre and the entrance to Lumley Court. We now move to an alley next to a pub that was previously the home of bare knuckle fighting, amongst other things. This is the Lamb and Flag, and the alley is Lazenby Court. Moving back to the 1851 map, we can see the alley run from the corner of Rose Street, but Flora Street, where it now finishes, did not exist then. Moving back to the 1682 map, We can see Rose Street and what looks like the dotted line of a path, which could have been the forerunner of Lazenby Court, but it also might well not have been, as the path is not in the same place, the corner of Rose Street, as the alley now is. The pub now runs along one side of this alley, and we can see there's a sign for the saloon bar and an old written sign claiming, amongst other things, that Charles Dickens drank here. The pub building itself is early 18th century, though it does not look quite as old from the outside, as it was reclad in brick in the 20th century. This is the alley from the other end, on Floral Street. That's all the alleys being covered in this video, and if you'd like to see some more, this is the link to a video I made on alleys that are closer to Trafalgar Square. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be making more similar ones, so please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching Eclectic Experience, change seen through images.